run into a problem that's just so frustrating, so tangled up, you feel like there's no way out? Well, what if I told you there's a specific way of thinking that can help you unravel any challenge, whether it's a huge business crisis or even a personal goal you're stuck on? Okay, let's get into it. We're going to learn how to think like an engineer. So, to really get what I mean, let's start with a real world disaster. Picture a manufacturing plant, and it is just bleeding cash. We're talking $50,000 every single week, all because of these weird equipment failures that nobody could figure out. Teams tried everything, right? They'd replace parts, they'd tinker with things, but the problems just kept popping right back up. So, what gives? Well, one engineer steps onto the scene and solves it. The whole thing. But how? Here's the kicker. It wasn't because they were smarter or knew more about the machines. Nope. It was because they had a totally different way of looking at the problem. And that's exactly what we're going to unpack right now. The secret, really, is all about what's called a systems mindset. It means you stop staring at the individual blinking lights and the weird error messages, and you just take a step back. You see the entire factory as one big interconnected machine. It's kind of like when your phone is acting super slow. You don't just blame one app, right? You think about the battery, your storage, the OS. You think about the whole system. Okay, so the official, kind of formal term for this is systems engineering. And I know that definition on screen looks a little intimidating, but trust me, the main idea is actually really simple. See that word transdisciplinary? Don't let it scare you. It's just a fancy way of saying you bring a bunch of different fields together, software guys, mechanics, even human psychology, to make sure all the different pieces of a project play nicely together, from the drawing board all the way to when it's retired. And this is really the crucial point. See, most people, they focus on the individual parts. They treat the symptoms. The other teams at that factory were just swapping out broken gear. But an engineer with a systems mindset, they see the whole system. That engineer in our story, they figured out the root cause wasn't a broken part at all. By looking at everything working together, they found a tiny software timing issue, like a digital hiccup, that was causing a huge chain reaction of failures. A great way to think about this is an orchestra. A single violin is, well, it's just a violin. But when you bring in the drums, the flutes, a conductor to tie it all together, it's the interactions between them that create this incredible symphony. The system is always more than the sum of its parts. The real magic happens in the connections.
Okay, so you're probably wondering, how can I actually start thinking this way? Well, the good news is, it's not some magical talent you're born with. It's actually a set of mental tools, a toolkit really, that anyone can learn to use.
And yeah, let's be super clear on this. This isn't magic. It's a practical, hands-on toolkit for taking problems apart and putting them back together solved. So let's open it up. So inside this toolkit, you've got what are called mental models. Basically, they're like different lenses you can use to look at a problem. You've got the system model, how are all the machines physically laid out, the data model, what information is flowing through the system, the process model, how does work actually get done step by step, and even the user model, what's it like for the people actually operating the machines? It gives you this complete 360-degree view of what's really going on. And this quote from IDOU absolutely nails it. It's not about the parts themselves, it's about how they interact. Those connections, those dependencies, the feedback loops. That's where the real secrets to solving the problem are hiding. All right, so theory is great, but how do we actually put this mindset into practice? Well, it really boils down to a framework for taking action. Let's run through the 7 core principles that really power this whole engineering mindset.
Okay, first up, first principles thinking. This just means you break a problem down to its absolute fundamental truths. You can't argue with them. Next, requirements analysis. You figure out what success actually looks like before you even start. Number 3, trade-off evaluation. You know the saying, fast, cheap, or good? You only get to pick 2. You have to know what you're willing to sacrifice. Fourth is iterative improvement. Always be testing and tweaking. Make small changes and see what happens. Fifth, keep that systems perspective. Always ask, how does this one change affect everything else? Number 6 is huge, data-driven decisions. No more winging it. Use real numbers, not just hunches. And finally, 7, constraint recognition. You gotta know your limits, your budget, your time. Knowing what you can't do is just as critical as knowing what you can. And that brings us to a really, really critical piece of the puzzle, data.
Because an engineer's mindset isn't built on guesswork. It's built on a solid foundation of evidence. There's a reason this is such a classic saying. You simply cannot fix what you don't measure. It's true. If you're not tracking the right numbers, you're basically flying blind. To really get a handle on a problem, you have to turn it into something you can actually see and count. And check this out. This is how big organizations like NASA use data as a kind of early warning system. For them, a sudden spike in rejected parts is what they call a leading indicator. It's a red flag that a much bigger problem might be brewing under the surface. And hey, this isn't just for rocket science. A leading indicator for you could be how many times you hit the snooze button. That's a sign that your whole sleep system might need an overhaul. And the way they do this is by setting super specific, measurable goals. They're officially called Technical Performance Measures, or TPMs for short. Think about it. When NASA builds a spacecraft, they don't just hope it's light enough. No way. They track the mass margin, that's their remaining weight budget, down to the very last gram. Same with power margin and data storage. These numbers turn vague goals into hard targets that scream at you if you're on track or if you're headed for disaster. Okay, so we've got the big picture mindset, we've got the mental tools, and we've got the core principles. But what's the next step? How do you go from just understanding these ideas to truly mastering them and using them in your own life? Well, it's important to know that becoming an expert is a journey. I mean, look at this. There are entire frameworks that lay out dozens of different skills. But don't get overwhelmed. You don't need to know all of this to start. The big takeaway here is that it's not just about being a math and physics genius. It's about things like leadership, communication, and sharp critical thinking, all skills that anybody can work on. And the really good news is that this journey has a roadmap. You can literally start right now at level 1, awareness. That's just knowing these concepts exist, which, hey, you're already doing. From there, you start applying it and become a practitioner. And over time, you can become an expert, someone who doesn't just solve problems, but can actually teach others to see the world this way too. So this all brings us to the final and honestly, the most important question. Because look, this way of thinking isn't just for building rockets or fixing broken factories. It's a framework for bringing clarity to anything. So I want you to really think about it. That nagging problem at work, that personal goal that just feels impossible, heck, even just planning a better vacation. Which problem in your life could you finally solve by starting to think like an engineer?